Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? You have to go through Sec 1 next year or Sec 2? So next year you're Sec 1. I see. This is actually a revision from Sec 1 paper because those who are in Sec 2 have yet to learn Sec 2 math. Will you be working on Sec 1 math? To recap for the Sec 2, upcoming Sec 2 students. We'll be starting in 2 minutes. Has anyone tried the worksheet? You'll be starting soon. You'll see the worksheet. This is secondary math. We'll be working on Sec 1 math today. Okay, let's look at question 1. Has anyone tried question 1? Or you can try question 1 now and let me know. Actually, this kind of question, primary math also have. The concept is the same, just that the number is bigger. Anyone? Okay, so they tell you that the number of people in a concert is 75,000. When it is correct to the nearest thousand, write down the maximum number of people that could be in the concert. Okay, so when they say write down the maximum number, means the number is rounded down to 75,000. Okay, so when it's rounded down, the digit in the thousand place, there's no changes. Okay, so we have the digit for the first two number. Because when it's rounded down, you drop off the digits behind. So the hundredth place will determine if the number is rounded up or rounded down. So since you want it to be rounded down, so what is the largest digit that you round down? What's the largest possible digit that you will round down? Yep, good. So this has to be 4. Okay, since they want the maximum number, the digit in the tens place and the ones place, you just need to have the largest possible digit. So what is the largest possible digit? What is the largest possible one digit number? Anyone? So 9 is the largest one digit number. Since tens place and ones place is not affecting the rounding up or down, so we leave it as 9. So that's our answer for part A, 75,499. Okay. We apply similar concept for part B. They're asking for minimum number. So when they want minimum number, means it has to be lesser than 75,000. That's why it's rounded up to 75,000. Okay. So when it's rounded up, means initially the thousand place is not 5, it's rounded up to 5. So before it's rounded up to 5, it has to be, so what number will round up to 5? So to find this number, we always subtract 1. So 4 is rounded up to 5. So it's a 5-digit number, no changes in the 10,000s place. The thousands place must be 4 so that it can be rounded up to 5. Since we want minimum number, so the digit in the hundreds place must be the number that is the smallest digit for you to round up. So what is the smallest digit that you round up? What's the smallest digit that you round up? No, the smallest digit is not 6. Yep, correct. So the smallest digit to round up is 5. So the digit in the hundreds place must be 5. Then same thing, the digit in the tens place and the ones place is not affected. So we just want the smallest 1-digit number. So the smallest 1-digit number will be 0. Okay, so this is our answer. 74,500. Yep, good. Can let's look at question 2. Can y'all try question 2? It's on factorizing. Those who have tried can send in your answers. When you factorize, you always factorize out the common factor. So you look at all the terms that's there in the expression and then identify what's the common factor. Yep, Jaden, you got it right. Okay. So we can see from here that all the terms have 2x. Okay. So we can factorize out 2x here. So when you factorize out 2x means we take that terms, we divide by 2x so that we can put it inside the bracket. So 2xy, when we divide by 2x, we're left with y. Then negative 4x squared, when you divide by 2x, you'll get negative 2x. Then 2x divided by 2x is 1, so you plus 1. So take note here, although you factorize out 2x, you still have to write 1, it's not 0. Okay? So for factorization, to check your work is always to expand back and make sure you get the answer. Get back the expression that they give you. Okay, then remember your bracket. So this is for question 2a. Question 2b. Anyone try question 2b? So question 2b actually quite obvious. They already show you what is the common factor. You just need to factorize out the common factor. Okay. So n plus 2 is the common factor because both terms have this inside. So when we take out n plus 2, It works the same way. We factorize out n plus 2. So n times n plus 2, when we divide by n plus 2, we are left with n. And then minus 5. Same thing. We factorize out n plus 2, we are left with negative 5. Okay, so you can see here that we have n minus 5. So after factorizing, we get n plus 2 times n plus 5. Okay, so you can see here that we factorize out this n plus 2. Then whatever that is left is on the other side. Okay, that's for question 2. Question 3 is on inequalities. Has anyone worked on question 3? Anyone? Can I have the answer for question 3? Part A. Negative 5 is what? Smaller than, equal, or more than 4? Yep, less than, good. So less than is which inequality sign? Yep, Jaden, you got it. So this is the less than sign equals to, and this is more than. When you apply it in this part here, okay? So negative 5 because one is negative, one is positive, so negative is definitely less than the positive number. How about part B? Okay, good. So 2/3 is 0.6666666 and so on. The 6 is never ending. But for 66%, it's just 0.66. Whatever that's behind the digit 6 here is 0. So you can see that when you base it on the third decimal place, you can really compare which is the greater number. So 2/3 is greater than 66%. So we use this inequality sign. Yep, good. For part C, anyone want to make a guess? 0.27 with the dot on both digit 2 and 7. Good, it's equals to, because 0.27 with dot on top is 0.27272727, never ending. And then 3/11 is also 0.27272727 and so on. Exactly the same number. It just means that the digit keep repeating itself. Like let's say if I have 0.3 with a dot on top of the 3, it means 0.3333333, never ending 3. Yep, it's okay. You'll learn this in Sec 1. Okay, so this is equals to. Okay. Question 4a. It's on estimation and approximation. By rounding off each number correct to one significant figure, they ask you to estimate this. So one significant figure means I only want to have one digit other than 0 itself. Yep, Jaden, very well done. Okay, so for 5.04. When I round off to one significant figure, 5 is a significant figure, so I want to round off to my ones place. So when I round off to ones place, I get 5. Next number, 19.86. When I round off to one significant figure, the greatest place is the tens place, so I round off to the tens place. Yep. And then for the last number, in the denominator, I have 4.97. So when I round off to one significant figure, I round off to my ones place, which is also 5. Yep, good job. Okay, so when I estimate this whole thing, I will get 5 times 20 divided by 5. So I can do my necessary cancelling, and then I get my answer, 20. And you want to try for part B? So the keyword here is without using a calculator. So you can use a calculator and then round off your answer. Yep. So for part B, you estimate, you round off the number that's inside the square root to the nearest square number. Then you can estimate easier. Yep, those who got 35 is correct. Okay, so firstly, we focus on the number that's inside the square root. And then we round off the number that I've highlighted to the nearest square number. So for 50.4, the nearest square number is 49. For 101.5, the nearest square number is 100. And in my denominator, the nearest square number for 4.1 is 4. Okay. So when I round off, I will square root 49 times square root of 100 divided by square root of 4. I'll get 7 times 10 divided by 2. You get 35 here. Yep, good job. Okay. Let's move on to question 5a. Express the ratio 3 whole 1 over 5 is to 24% in its simplest form. So it'll be easier when you change them to number. Jaden, you can try again. Because one is in terms of fraction, the other one is in terms of percentage. So we change them to number will be easier. So 3 whole 1 and 1/5 will be 3.2. Then 24%, when you drop the percent, you have to divide by 100. So 24% is 0.24. Okay, so you do not want to deal with decimal, so it'll be easier you multiply by 100 on both sides, such that your 0.24 will no longer be a decimal. Okay, so when you times 100, you get 320 is to 24. Yep, 40 is to 3 is correct. Good job. Okay, so after getting 320 is to 24, both numbers can be divided by 8. You divide by the highest common factor here. So 320, you divide by 8, you get 40. And then 24 divided by 8, you get 3. And then this is in your simplest form. You can simplify further because 3 is a prime number. Oh, yeah, in which level now? Oh, graduated already, okay. Yeah, you can do that. As long as you can get the answer for these two three, it's fine. I change it to number so that it's easier only. You can, as long as you make them into the same form, it'll be easier for you already. Either you change all to percentage, or you change all to numbers, or you change all to fraction. How's your O level? Oh, you're taking O level this year, right? How's your O level? Wow. So you can get A1 since it's easy. That's good. All the best. Hope you get the results you want. Okay, can we move on to 5B? Express 860 gram as a percentage of 5.6 kg. So the word behind, the number behind off will be your denominator. This will be your numerator. When they ask you to leave as a percentage of, you multiply by 100%. Hello. Who's Hayden? Yes, but you can see that they are not in the same unit, so we have to make them to be in the same unit first. So your 5.6 kg, you can convert it into gram. How many gram is it? Okay, for Kira, in secondary math, right, it's usually in the cover page, they'll tell you that if the number is not exact, you have to round off to it's either 3 stick fig or 1 dp. For degree, you round off to 1 dp. If not, the rest, you just round off to 3 stick fig. Huh? Why? Same for Jaden, you have to round off to 3 stick fig if the answer is not exact. Okay, so 5.6 kg is 5,600. Okay, so 860 gram over 5,600 times 100%. So when you key this into your calculator, right, you will get 15.35714%. And then you round off to 3 six fig. This is my third significant figure. So we look at the digit behind 3, it's 5, so you have to round up. So when you round up, you'll get 15.4% to 360. Three six fig is the number that are significant. So you can see from here, right? This digit 1 is significant. This digit 5 is significant. And this digit, okay, we look at 15.357. All these digits here are significant. So we look at the number that is at the greatest value. So tens place is the greatest value. This is my first significant figure. Ones place is my second significant figure. And 3 is my third significant figure. Okay? That's why we round up. We round off at this point. However, if the digit starts from 0, let's say we have 0, 1, 5.35. My digit 0, although it's in the hundreds place, but because it has no value in front, So this is not a significant figure. Your significant figure still starts from here. This is my first significant figure. Okay? Those who are done can actually look at question 6 first. Question 6 is on solving equations. Yep, 43 is correct. So to solve the equation, we firstly remove the denominator. So to remove the denominator, we multiply by 4 on both sides of the equation. So when you multiply by 4, you get x minus 7 equals to 36. Yep. Okay. And then to find the unknown, we want the unknown on one side. So we remove minus 7 on the left-hand side by adding back 7 on both sides. Then we're left with x on the left-hand side, and then 36 plus 7 is 43. That's how you get x equals to 43. Yeah, this is quite easy. How about part B? Yeah, good, Jaden. Okay, for part B, you can see that there's the denominator also. So in order for you to remove the denominator, we multiply by the lowest common multiple of the denominators. And there's no denominator, means it's over 1. Who is Xiao Hao 98? Yeah, negative answer is correct. The answer is negative 21. Okay, so you multiply by 4. What? So you multiply by 4 throughout. Okay, so when you multiply by 4 throughout, y over 2 you multiply by 4, divide by 2, divide by 2, you get 2y here. Okay. Then for the second part, don't forget your bracket. You're left with 3y plus 1. The bracket is very important here, because without the bracket, you will change the sign of the plus 1. Equals to 5 over 1 times 4, you get 20. Okay, so now you get rid of the denominator already, then you try to simplify it on the left hand side. You can multiply the negative 1 inside first. So you get 2y minus 3y minus 1 equals to 20. Okay, so when you remove the bracket, you can see that actually the sign for 1 is negative. So 2y minus 3y, I subtract the like terms, I left with negative y minus 1 equals to 20. Then I plus 1 on both sides, left with negative y equals to 21. Then I divide by negative 1 to find y. So 21 divided by -1 is -20. Okay. Anyone try part C? Yeah, good job. Okay, for part C, we expand first before we solve the equation. So we multiply in the 6, we multiply in the -7, and we multiply in the 3. Okay, so 6 times z, we get 6z, plus 6 times 3 is 18. Take note here that we are taking -7 to multiply inside. So -7 times 2z, we get -14z. And then -7 times -5, we get +35. Equals to 3 times 5z, we get 15z. 3 times -4, we get -12. And then -4. Okay, then we simplify. We put the like terms together. So 6 minus 14z, we get -8z. Then 18 plus 35, we get 53. For my right hand side, there's only one term that is have the has the unknown there. So I only simplify the numbers. -12 minus 4, I get -16. Okay, so what I can do now is I do with the unknown first. I plus 8z on both sides. -8 plus 8 will be nothing, so I left with 53 here. Then 15z plus 8, I get 23z, and then -16. Then I add 16 on both sides, so that I have unknown on one side. Okay, so I get 69 equals to 23z. I can just flip it. 23z is 69, therefore my z will be, I divide by 23 on both sides. I get 3. Okay, for step 1, secondary level calculators are allowed, so you can just use calculator throughout. All okay? Oh, this is algebra, solving for unknown. You learn in Sec 1. Yep. Okay, we move on to question 7. So you're in Sec 1 next year. PSLE result releasing soon, right? Next Wednesday. Yep, those who got 30 minus x. Good job. Okay. Pauline bought 30 red and green pens. If there are x red pens, write down in terms of x the number of green pens. So quite straightforward. This is the total. This is one of the part. I'm finding the other part. So I just need to take 30 minus x. For algebraic expression, remember to put a bracket. Yep, it's 13 minus x. Okay. Red pens are sold at 50 cents each, and green pens are sold at 40 cents each. The total bill of the pens was $13. Write down an expression in x, the cost of the red pens. So each red pen is 50 cents. You multiply by there's x number of red pens. So you get 50x cents. You can see here that what they want is in terms of dollars, so you have to divide by 100. Okay, so when you divide by 100 in terms of dollar, you get 0.50x. Okay, yep, correct. Then next will be finding the cost of the green pens using the expression you have found in part A. So each green pen is 40 cents. So I take 40 cents times the number of green pen, which is 30 minus x. Then when I change it to dollars, I divide by 100. So I get 0.40 30 minus x. Because it's just one mark, I can leave it in this manner. I don't have to expand out. Those who expand out, it's okay too. Okay, then part C, they ask you to form an equation. Form an equation in x and solve it to find the number of green pens. So you can form an equation with the amount, the total bill here. The total bill will be the sum of your answers in B. So 0.50x plus 0.4030 minus x is equals to $13. Because the answer in B is already in terms of dollars, so you do not have to convert it. Okay, whenever you're forming an equation, make sure that the units are the same first before you form an equation. The answer is not 20. Okay, what you can do here is you multiply by 10 throughout so that you do not have any decimals. So for me, I multiply by 10 throughout. 0.5 times 10, I get 5. So 5x plus 4 times 30 minus x equals 230. Then 5x plus 4 times 30 is 120 minus 4 times x for x equals 230. Then I can simplify the like terms together. 5x minus 4x, I get x. Since I'm finding x, I have to subtract 120 on both sides. Then I can find x equals to 10. Okay, so the number of green pen is 10. Oh wait, sorry. X is the number of red pens. So the number of green pens will be 30 minus x, which is 30 minus 10. Okay? Can? Yep, those who got 20 is correct. Is it laggy? Because I can't see from my side. Okay. Oh, do you have the worksheet? You can actually download the worksheet in our link in the bio. There's 9 questions in total. Okay. Can I move on to question 8? Oh, I've already gone through this question for question 7. So if you need the question, you can actually download our worksheet. Then you can see the question for part A and B. Okay. Now I'll move on to question 8 now. A triathlete swims 750 meter at an average speed of 1.5 meter per second. Yep, 8 minutes 20 seconds is correct. Cycles 20 kilometer at an average speed of 30 kilometer per hour and runs 5 kilometer in 25 minutes. Find the time taken he takes to swim 750 meter, and they ask you to leave your answer in minutes and seconds. Okay, so to find time taken, you have to take distance divided by speed. Okay, they only ask for the swimming portion. So you take the distance divided by the average speed. So 750 meter divided by 1.5 meter per second. So looking at the units, you know that the answer that you have found is in terms of seconds. So you get 500 seconds, and then when you convert it to minutes and seconds, you have to divide by 60 to find the number of minutes, and the remainder will be your seconds. So you should get 8 minutes 30 seconds. Welcome back. Okay. Anyone try part B? For part B, they ask you to find the average speed in kilometer per hour of the triathlete for the total distance of the race. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. Okay. Yep, 21.1 kilometer per hour is correct. So firstly, to find average speed, you always have to find total distance and total time taken. For average speed, you can never take the average of two average speed. Okay. So for this part here, I can find total distance first. Total distance, I have 750 meter, 20 kilometer, and 5 kilometer. So when I add everything up, my 750 meter when I change to kilometer is 0.75 kilometer. Okay, so I get 25.75 kilometer. So you can see that for your second part, you only have the distance and the average speed. You haven't find the time taken. Since we need total time taken, we have to find the time taken for the cycling part. Okay, so you take distance divided by the speed. So you can see from the units, the time taken is in terms of hour. So you have 2/3 hour. Okay, so now you have the time taken for all the three different parts. You can find the total time taken. Okay, so you have 2/3 hour plus 500 seconds plus 25 minutes. So you can see that I'm actually adding my time taken in three different units. And then they want it in terms of hours. As you can see, they want the average speed to be in kilometer per hour. So I have to change everything to hour. So 2/3 is in terms of hour already. Seconds, 500 seconds, you divide by 60 to change to minute. And then you divide by another 60 to change it to hours. Okay, and then for minute, you just need to divide by 60 to change it to hours. Okay, so you have 2/3 hour plus 500/3600 hour plus 25/60 hour. Then after which you add everything up, key into your calculator, you'll get 44/36 hour. You can't take all the speed and divide by 3 like I said just now. So to find average speed, you always have to find the total distance and the total time taken. Yeah, it's quite similar to what you have learned in P6, just that um you are adding three different type of units in the total time taken here. As long as you do step by step, you should be able to get the answer as well. It just seems like a bit complicated, but it's not. Okay, so you can find average speed now. With total distance divided by total time taken. So 25.75 kilometer, you divide by 44/36 hour. It's approximately 21.0681 kilometer per hour. They ask you to correct to one decimal place. So it will be 21.1 kilometer per hour to 1 dp. Okay. All okay. If okay, I'll move on to the next question, the last question. The table below shows the parking charges at Changi Airport Terminal 1. So Terminal 1 or the Jewel car park charges. For short-term parking is at level B2M and B2. First 90 minutes is 4 cents per minute. Subsequent 30 minutes or part thereof is $5 per 30 minutes. Okay. Then for the general parking at B3 and B5 is 4 cents per minute. Yep, so you can see that set 1 math is not difficult, right? Okay, so what's your answer for part A? Joseph parked his car at level B2M level at 6:30 p.m. And he paid 860 for the parking charges upon leaving the car park. What is the latest possible time that he left the car park? Explain your answer with working. Latest possible time means he fully utilized the subsequent 30 minutes. So there's no part there off in this sense. They want the longest duration. So we can find the amount for the first 90 minutes. It's 4 cents per minute. So I multiply by 90. I got $3.30. Yep, correct. So if he paid $8.60, minus away the amount he paid for the first 90 minutes, he paid another $5. So this $5 is the next 30 minutes. Okay, so he can park for another 30 minutes. So in total, the first 90 minutes plus the next 30 minutes. In total, he parked for 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. You don't have to take 5 divided by 5. Since you know that, okay, there's one group of 30 minutes, so you just need to add another 30 minutes to it. And then they ask for the latest possible time. So they're asking for the timing. So which is 2 hours is the longest duration. So 2 hours after 6:30 p.m. What time will it be? So 2 hours later will be 8:30 p.m. So the latest possible time that he can leave the car park, he left the car park is 8:30. P3 haven't learned part there of. Okay, those are then can look at the next part. Actually, for Sec 1 math, the harder portion, the harder topics are like more towards the algebra kind of questions. Anyway, this is just a recap for those Sec 2 students. Graph is also quite difficult for Sec 1 students, especially finding the gradients and all. How do you learn Sec 1 math during the holidays? What you can do is you start on the first few topics, especially familiarize yourself with algebra, solving equations. Wow, that's a very good score. Well done. For Sec 1, you can also start off with like familiarize yourself with numbers. What are the square numbers, the cubic numbers. When you're familiarized with all these numbers, then your number sense will be stronger. That'll be easier for you also. Then you can identify the factors, multiples, then what are prime numbers, all the different kind of numbers. After numbers, then it's algebra. Okay, we move on to part B. Helen is considering whether to park her car at B2 or B3 at Changi Airport. Terminal 1. She intends to stay at the airport for 2.5 hours. So which is the cheaper option? So you have to calculate how much she needs to pay if you park at B2 or if you park at B3. The square numbers and cube numbers are just like square number is 1, 4, 9, and so on. You just be very familiar with all these number. It will help you like whenever you're doing number patterns and all in the later part of Sec 1. So like one look at the numbers, you know these numbers are square numbers, you know these numbers are cube numbers. Okay, so at B2, if she park at B2, the amount that she needs to pay will be 360 is for the first 1.5 hour. Then subsequent 30 minutes is $5. This is another 0.5 hour plus another 0.5 hour. Total is 2.5 hours. So she'll need to pay $13.60. Minimally, I would say until maybe around 14, 15 square, 16 square. Yeah. But the more you can remember, the better it is lah. You mean 2.5 hour equals 250 minutes, right? Actually, for the cube also same thing. Around maybe 15, 16. As much as you can, just that I think around 10 is safe enough lah. Anyway, you can use calculator. It's more like when you're looking at the number pattern, you won't think of using a calculator for it. So when you roughly know, oh, this number I see before is a cubic number or if it's a square number. Okay, so if she park at B3, it's 4 cents per minute. So I take 0.04 times 2.5 hour times 60. This part here, I'm converting it to minutes. Okay, so it's just $6. So she'll just park at B3 because it's cheaper. Cube numbers are like 1 to the power of 3 is 1 times 1 times 1. So 1 is a cube number. Then 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8 is also a cube number. 3 times 3 times 3. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom because there's this part here that you have to fill in the blanks. Then 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So 27 is also a cubic number. And so on. Can? I think that's all. Okay, so we are done with the worksheet. Yep, and this is the webinar that I'll be teaching. I'll be teaching Sec 1 Math and Sec 2 Math for the coming curriculum here. Yep, because you have already shown the explanation in terms of numbers. If you didn't show in terms of number, then you have to explain in words. But for math, usually if you show in numbers, it's safer. I teach online. I'm teaching the webinar for Sec 1 Math and Sec 2 Math. Anyone, any other questions? Are you going to the physical outlet? Which outlet are you going to? If there's no more question, I'll end this live, yeah? Before that, the next live will be tomorrow on P5 Math. It's a walkthrough of P4 end of year revision. Okay? You all can tune in tomorrow 7 p.m.